Welcome to Rally Sweden. It is the coldest, iciest and also one of the fastest rally events of WRC. Quick note for setting the 2023 cars. Just move the springs and anti-roll bar sliders as many clicks left or right as I move them for the 2024 car, and vice versa. Soon after we leave the icy roads of Monte Carlo, we are greeted with even more ice and snow in Sweden. So in order to maintain control in this location, you need good alignment. This means some toe out at the front wheels for increased turn-in and a lot of toe in for the rear wheels, so they create a plow effect, which leads to more stability and easier corner drive-outs. The camber angles don't need crazy values, because the ice and snow tires are very different from the other tires. These have metal studs that dig into the ice, and that's how they create a lot of traction. As soon as they're gone, the tires are worthless. When cornering, since the contact between the wheel and the road is just made of a few points instead of a big patch of rubber, the deformation is minimal. So I settled on -1 for the front wheels and -0.75 for the rear wheels. Cornering in Sweden or any other snowy location requires a lot of angle. This means the differentials need to be set so they offer a lot of oversteer. The front driving lock at around 26% to get the front wheels the amount of traction they need, and the rear driving diff is set to the maximum value to allow the car's rear end to easily rotate. The front and rear braking lock are set more open than the driving lock. Because when braking on snow and ice, the chances of locking up are much higher. So you want at least one wheel to still spin while braking, in case the other one locks up, instead of both wheels locking up, making you slide out into the snowbanks. Another benefit of less braking lock on ice is the yaw moment induced under heavy braking, which is extremely useful to initiate the slide before a turn. And finally, as already mentioned, we need a lot of oversteer here, so the preload is set at 0 Nm. Preload only helps to correct the corner entry by inducing understeering effects, so no thank you. The dampers, to be honest, were more tricky to set up than I was expecting, but here they are. -2 for the slow bump will ensure butter landings for the smaller bumps and jumps, while for the bigger and more aggressive ones, +3 on the fast bump and 0.91 meters per second for the bump division. Now, here I'm leaving you with a disclaimer. You can fluctuate the fast bump stiffness between +2 and +3 depending on how fast you're going. Personally, with +2 stiffness on some bumps I managed to slam the car on the road and lose control. But by increasing the stiffness to +3, I get rid of this problem. Though the landing feels a bit more rigid, at least it's predictable and I know what to expect on the next one, which in my opinion is way more important. The rebound is the returning action of the damper after absorbing the shock, so if I have a -2 slow bump, there is no reason to go softer with the rebound. This will only mess with the car's stability.
Hey, did you know that Nox has started memberships on his channel?
Oh wow, so what?
I mean, it has an offer like never seen before. No, really, you can ask for customized tuning setups.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you sign up as chief engineer, you can tell him the location and the car you're struggling with, and he will make you a tuning setup and help you with any other adjustments.
No way!
Plus, you will get early access to WRC1 and WRC2 setups before they make it to YouTube, and a growing collection of tuning setups for various cars in various locations.
But this is also included for the engineer level, right?
Yes, you're right. So what you waiting for? As mentioned earlier, braking on snow and ice will increase the likeliness of locking, so I settled on a medium value for the braking force. The brake bias is set to allow more braking force to be transmitted to the rear wheels as well. With so much speed on some of these tracks, the front wheels can easily overcome the traction and lock under heavy braking. Last but not least, the handbrake doesn't need a huge amount of force because locking the rear wheels here is extremely easy. In Sweden, the gearbox required a lot of tweaking to allow for fast acceleration in the twisty sections, but also enable the car to reach speeds up to 220 km/h on the straights. There's a link to a gameplay video in the top right corner. First, I lowered the final drive to allow for lower gear ratios overall. Then I tweaked all the gears one by one until I was happy with the power delivery. The first 3 gears are more focused on acceleration, helping the car maintain its speed on tighter corners. The 5th gear is the highest and the fastest, and the 4th is here to make a smooth transition between high speed and high acceleration gears. Now in the springs tab, without any hesitation, we're gonna raise the car as high as possible to stay clear of any obstacles and mostly the snowbanks. To help with the bump absorption, we need to soften the spring rate with about 3 clicks. I felt that any softer than this would make the car too unstable, and stiffer would make it too bouncy, like it's fighting against the damper instead of working together. For the anti-roll bars or ARBs, we don't need crazy values because the car is raised to the max, so we should let the body roll on the chassis instead of making it rigid and tipping the car over when going sideways. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe and click the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos. Go watch my entire collection of setup guides here and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Shout out to all these beautiful members for further supporting my work, and as always, see you on the track. Bye bye!